Hi everyone, this is May Park. Welcome to another video tutorial in my blog and YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to color your floral image using no-line watercoloring with the Mijello Mission Gold watercolor set. This video is part of Altenew December release blog hub celebrating a release of new stamps, dies, and mini die cutting machine. Make sure to check out my blog for more details and leave a comment on my blog hub post for a chance to win a $30 gift certificate to the Altenew online store. This is the stamp set I designed for Altenew December release, and I'm going to use it in today's video. With a hand-drawn floral image and elegant sentiments, this Peony spray stamp set features a large image of peony flower, which will make a great focal image on your paper crafting projects. And it'll also work great for an oversized card. This set includes the perfect elements to create a beautiful encouragement card to show someone you care. In case you are curious about the rest of Altenew December release, I'm going to give you a quick look through of new products. If you don't want to watch, feel free to skip this part to jump on the card making process video. This is Altenew's new mini die cutting machine called Mini Blossom. It is the compact and portable must-have tool for your craft room. It is designed to work with wafer-thin metal dies, and it can be used to quickly and easily die cut a variety of materials, including cardstock and Altenew specialty papers. The elegant and clean design will work wonderful on your craft desk, secured on its stable base with a suction fit. The opening is 3-inch, so it's great for smaller dies, and it looks great on any crafting table. Now I'm going to turn on some music while I'm showing you new stamps and dies, and I'll be back soon. I'm starting out by cutting arches cold pressed watercolor paper slightly larger than A2 size using Tmall's paper trimmer. You can use hot pressed watercolor paper if you prefer a smooth surface for your stamping. I'm going to place my panel inside the mini misty stamping tool, and I'm using magnets to hold the paper in place. You can use your regular acrylic block for stamping if you want to. I'm going to pull out the Peony stamp from the Peony spray stamp set and place it on my watercolor paper. Today I'll be doing some no-line watercoloring, but I still want my image to look visible, so here I'm inking up the stamp with the Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink, which is waterproof, and stamp it on the scratch paper. Then I'm going to stamp it on my watercolor panel using second generation stamping, so my image doesn't look too black, but I still can see the outline. You don't have to use a black ink for no-line watercoloring. I see many people use Tmall's Distress Ink Antique Linen instead. I'll be taping down my watercolor panel onto the chipboard sheet using washi tape. This will help prevent my paper from warping while watercoloring. If you are not gonna use lots of water for your watercoloring, you can skip this process. Now it's time for watercoloring. Here I have my Mijello Mission Gold 36 watercolor set, round paintbrush number 2 and number 4, clean water, and paper towel ready on my desk. I'm going to search for Peony spray illustration on Google. This is one of my ways to find a color scheme when I watercolor florals. It gives me an idea what color combo I should use for my flowers and where to add shadings and highlights on the floral images. So I decided to use this illustration for my color reference. I'm going to mix my paint with clean water and pick up some pigment with my wet paintbrush. Then I'll be testing out the color on a scrap watercolor paper to see the actual color. When it comes to watercoloring, there are a few ways to watercolor images. Today I'll be showing you a quick and easy way to watercolor your floral images. Once I pick up some pigment from the watercolor set with my wet paintbrush, I'm applying light color first for the base layer. I'm loosely watercoloring each petal with less pigment and lots of water. You can start by wetting your watercolor paper first with clean water if you want to. Then I'll be bringing more colors to add shading to the bottom of each petal before the previous layer is dry. This time I'm adding more pigment and less water. If you added too much pigment onto your image, you can pick up the color using paper towel. If you let the paint dry between applications, you will leave harsh lines between layers. If you don't like those harsh lines, you can soften the hard edges using a moist paintbrush even after the paint is already dry. To create a gradient look of the color, it's important to wash your paintbrush with clean water or wipe off the excess pigment using a paper towel in between before you pull out the color. If you look at the real flower, you see the flower don't have only one color. So I'm going to apply some yellow and orange colors to my peony along the way. Adding different colors is a great way to create some interest to your image. If you make a mistake with your watercolors or you have some paint went outside of outline, you can fix it by adding some clean water on the paper and picking up the colors with a paper towel or paintbrush. Just paint in the shape you'd like to lift out using clear water and dab away the water with a paper towel. Now I'm going to turn on some music and speed up the process so you can watch me color. For my leaves, I kind of wanted to achieve a textured look, so I used less water and let the pigment dry between applications. That way, I was able to leave some brush stroke marks to indicate veins of my leaves. Once my coloring is done, I'm going to add ink splatters to my background to add some interest. You can use a post-it note or scrap paper if you want to, but I'm going to use a peony die cut to protect my watercolor peony from ink splatters. I'm pulling out the die from peony spray die set. After placing my scrap paper and die between cutting plates, I'll be running them through my Altenew mini blossom die cutting machine. After covering my watercolor peony with die cut paper, I'm going to splatter the background with 3 paint colors. I'm drying the panel between each color because I don't want them to mix together. This splatter watercolor technique is a bit random but can create some very fun results. So I highly recommend you give it a try if you haven't done so. I'm going to use my heat tool again to make sure that everything is dry before I move on. Then I'm peeling up the washi tape and removing my watercolor panel from the chipboard. I'm gonna cut down my watercolor panel into 4 inch by 5¼ inches using Timo's paper trimmer. Then I'll be stamping the sentiment from the Peony spray stamp set with Altenew jet black ink using my mini misty stamping tool. Since I didn't get a good impression, I'm going to stamp it one more time to get a nice and intense impression. I wasn't sure which colored cardstock would go with my watercolor panel, so I pulled out 3 shades of gray cardstock from Altenew and I'm matching each one with the watercolor panel. Then I decided to go with the medium shade of gray cardstock, which is real gray. I'm going to attach the real gray cardstock on the A2 size white top folding card base using Altenew glue tape. Then I'll be mounting my watercolor panel on the card base using 3M foam tape to give some dimension. I'm finishing off my card by adding some white dots and dashed lines on some of the petals using a white gel pen. My friend Debbie Hughes is amazing at no-line watercoloring, so I'm going to add a link to her YouTube channel in the description box, so make sure to check out her videos to learn more about no-line watercoloring. That's all for today. If you have any questions, please leave comments below and I'd be happy to answer them for you. I hope this video tutorial inspires to create a one-day floral card using watercoloring. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time with another video. Bye bye!